News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Like the song once said, sure could use a little good news today. And for residents in the area of the Roaring Lion Fire, we've got some. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. Congratulations, you made it. It's Friday, August the 5th, 2016. Right now we have 48 degrees under a clear but smoky sky in western Montana. Our newscast sponsored by Office City, celebrating 100 years in business. See them for office supplies and furniture, price match guarantees, and free next-day delivery. Our top story this morning, I spoke with Under Sheriff Steve Holden of the Ravalli County Sheriff's Department about 10 o'clock last night. It's some very good news for residents that have been evacuated due to the Roaring Lion Fire burning south of Hamilton. Holden told me this last night.
We've actually got some pretty good news tonight. We're able to reduce the Stage 2 area pretty significantly, and leaving all the areas still in Stage 1. Which I want to stress does not mean we're out of the woods, so to speak, yet.
Holden outlined the new Stage 2 evacuation boundaries.
Right now, our only Stage 2 areas are west of Spring Hill Road on Roaring Lion, and that extends south to kind of the north end of the Gold Creek Road. And then from there, west of Highway 93, all the way south to Hayes Creek. That all remains in a Stage 2.
As of Thursday night, the fire was just under 8,000 acres and is 15% contained. 14 homes have been lost, and one death from a heart attack have been drawn to the fire, whose cause still under investigation. Costs are ramping up in the battle against the Roaring Lion Fire to pass $2 million so far. According to Fire Information Officer Mike Cole, firefighting efforts Wednesday paid off, and the fire was mostly kept at bay.
Well, we're at 7,129 acres. That adjusts a little bit from day to day as we get better mapping on the ground. But we're at 7% containment, so we're feeling comfortable with a little bit of the area of the fire, but we still have a lot of work to do. And never really did develop a big, what we call a plume of smoke yesterday. So that was good news. That let us keep the aircraft running all day.
Cole said the cost of fighting the fire have gone up steadily since the Type 1 incident management team took over.
Well, whenever you have aircraft in particular, the price goes up real fast. So as of last night, we were at $2,125,000. We have 629 personnel assigned to the fire now. That jumped dramatically. Engines to go in and do structure protection, heavy equipment to construct dozer lines. As all that stuff comes in, it all starts adding up real fast.
If 600 firefighters on a single blaze seems like a lot, Cole says it's about average for big fires in the West these days. He says he's worked on fires with over 2,000 firefighters. Wildlife managers are considering changes to the hunting and slaughter of bison that leave Yellowstone Park after past efforts failed to achieve population reduction goals. Roughly 600 bison were killed during the past winter, including through shipments of the animals to slaughter and hunting by American Indians and state-licensed hunters. Despite the hundreds of animals killed, officials told the Bozeman Daily Chronicle that the park's bison population saw no significant decrease. A 2000 agreement between federal agencies and Montana officials mandates a low bison population in Yellowstone because they carry a disease that can cause cattle to abort. It's called brucellosis. There are no recorded transmissions of brucellosis from bison to cattle. To drive down the population, officials say they're considering capturing bison for slaughter sooner than the February 15th start date adopted last winter. Missoula police were called to the 2300 block of Ernest on Wednesday around 2 p.m. Missoula Public Information Officer for the Police Department, Travis Welsh, explains.
Report had been made of two persons that appeared to be sleeping in a vehicle located in a parking lot of an apartment complex. Upon the officer's arrival, they found the vehicle. However, there was just a female that was still sleeping in the car. The male who had been seen by the complainant was no longer there.
The officer couldn't rouse the woman from her sleep and called for assistance.
The officer had difficulty waking the female and observed what appeared to be drug paraphernalia in the car and was concerned about possible drug overdose. He called for medical assistance, and Missoula Fire and EMS responded. They were eventually able to wake the female and speak with her.
The drug involved in the case appears to be methamphetamine. After waking, a 34-year-old Cassandra Meagard was taken to the county jail for felony possession of dangerous drugs. This was her second or subsequent offense. The man was located and interviewed but is not facing any charges at this time. Authorities have found that Montana teenager had been the subject of an Amber Alert since Wednesday. The Montana Department of Justice issued the alert for 16-year-old Sandy Moore of Sheridan, Montana, and then canceled it after she was found safe in Casper, Wyoming on Thursday evening. The investigators believe the girl was taken from her home by 60-year-old Rodney Lee Zahn, a registered violent offender on probation, but no other information has yet been released. Justice of the Peace Landy Holloway more than doubled the suggested bail amount for 21-year-old Samuel Swapinski yesterday, calling his alleged sexual assault on a female neighbor predatory. Deputy Missoula County Attorney Celine Kepke originally asked for $20,000 bail.
There were admissions that the defendant was blackout drunk during this episode. For those reasons, Your Honor, as well as for the reason that we do believe the defendant is a danger to the community based on the facts of this case, we are asking for $20,000 bail.
Judge Holloway instead more than doubled Swapinski's bail to $50,000, calling his alleged sexual assault on his neighbor predatory. Another case involving sexual assault was heard in Justice Court that allegedly occurred back in 2013. 32-year-old Carl Swiney was charged with sexual abuse of a child. Deputy County Attorney Kepke asked for bail of $100,000 and explained the details to Judge Holloway.
The defendant is charged with sexual abuse of his 4-year-old nephew. He confessed to multiple incidents. The state does believe that jail may not be the best place for this defendant, but we do believe that we need screening and careful thought about appropriate placement before he's released.
Judge Holloway set bail at $50,000 and allowed placement with the man's mother after bond is posted, with the condition that he have absolutely no contact with the victim. The Wyoming Department of Health says the state's first West Nile virus case of the year has been reported out of Goshen County. The agency says the case involves an adult but released no other details. West Nile is spread by mosquitoes that feed on infected birds and then by people, animals, or other birds. Most people infected with the virus don't have symptoms. Among those who become ill, symptoms include fever, headache, body ache, skin rash, and swollen lymph nodes. However, there have been severe cases in which people infected have died since West Nile first appeared in Wyoming in 2002. Our News Talk time is 6:12.
News Talk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Ample sunshine today with our high temperatures in the low 90s. Slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm this afternoon into the evening hours. Overnight lows in the upper 50s. Showers and thunderstorms Saturday and Sunday. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.